Why some men are too sensitive. Hey everyone, welcome back to Mind, Health, and You. Today we're exploring a fascinating and often misunderstood topic: why some men are too sensitive. Now, sensitivity isn't just a trait we associate with women. In fact, many men are deeply sensitive, but this sensitivity can sometimes be misinterpreted as weakness. Let's dive into why some men may be more emotionally sensitive than others, and what it really means for their mental health and relationships. Emotional sensitivity is human. To start, let's acknowledge one important thing. Everyone has emotions. Yes, even men. Society, however, has often conditioned men to suppress their feelings. The message they've received for decades: be tough, don't cry, don't show emotion. But here's the thing: emotions don't have a gender. Some men, instead of shutting their emotions down, embrace them. This can make them more aware of their feelings, which leads to emotional sensitivity. And that's completely okay. Being in touch with your emotions is a sign of emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Men who are emotionally sensitive may feel things more deeply, like joy, sadness, or anger. It doesn't make them any less of a man. It simply means they're more attuned to their emotional state. The role of childhood and upbringing. Now, the way a man is raised plays a big role in how sensitive he is. In many cultures, boys are raised to be strong and stoic, often being told not to cry or show vulnerability. But some men grow up in environments where emotional expression was encouraged. Maybe their parents were nurturing, or they were taught that it's okay to show vulnerability. For these men, sensitivity can feel more natural. The result? These men may grow into adults who express their emotions more freely, who show empathy, and who are highly in tune with both their own emotions and the feelings of others. The impact of past trauma. However, it's also important to acknowledge that past trauma can heighten emotional sensitivity. A man who has experienced emotional pain, whether from a breakup, childhood trauma, or personal loss, may react more intensely to certain triggers or situations. Men who haven't had the opportunity to process or express their emotions fully can sometimes carry this emotional baggage throughout their lives. This can lead them to be hypersensitive, reacting strongly to things that might seem minor to others. For these men, their sensitivity isn't a weakness. It's often a defense mechanism that protects them from feeling overwhelmed by unresolved emotions. Gender expectations and modern masculinity. In today's world, there's a growing movement towards redefining masculinity. More men are rejecting the idea that they need to be tough all the time. They're embracing the fact that being sensitive doesn't undermine their masculinity. Men are increasingly talking about their feelings, opening up about mental health struggles, and prioritizing emotional well-being. This shift is necessary for improving mental health and relationships. After all, men who are emotionally available are often more understanding and supportive in their friendships and romantic partnerships. By allowing themselves to be sensitive, these men can form deeper, more authentic connections with others and themselves. What being sensitive means for relationships. So, what does all of this mean for relationships? For men who are more sensitive, it often means they are more empathetic, more likely to listen, and more attuned to the needs of their partner. While sensitivity can sometimes be perceived as overreacting, it can actually make a man a great communicator in relationships. In fact, relationships with sensitive men can be deeply fulfilling because they're able to connect on an emotional level. Of course, just like anyone, men with high emotional sensitivity can struggle with balance. It's important for them to learn how to manage and express their feelings in healthy ways. To wrap things up, being sensitive is not a bad thing. Whether you're a man or a woman, embracing your emotional side can lead to better mental